77 kilo class. The first man from Nauru, Yukio Peita, 143 kilos to start. The world record, 173 kilos, just to put the measure on this championship. But at the top end, there are a lot of men who've entered totals of 360 and 380, and this could be quite competitive tonight, David.
Yes, it's interesting. It's the first time I've seen this man lifting as a 77 kilo lifter. He's right at the top of the Commonwealth rankings with a personal best lift of 156 in the snatch. So it's interesting to see him not looking that impressive on 143. This is one of those classes I really wouldn't want to call, Dave. 7 out of the 11 competitors in this weight class are down at 360.
But that makes it unpredictable, which hopefully makes it exciting for not only ourselves, but every one of you at home. Thanks very much again for your emails. As you see the world records there, Filiminov, Perepechenov. Now, if you're wondering where Perepechenov is, he's actually moved up to 85 kilos, so he'll be on tomorrow live on Eurosport. So something to look forward to there. Of course, the other big absentee, of course, is the very talented Turk, Taner Sagir, the Olympic champion, the European champion, the junior world champion, and Turkey at the moment under investigation because of a whole range of misdemeanors. And in fact, I think it's the 15th. There's an IWF executive board meeting here in Qatar to discuss the Turkish situation. So that would be Tuesday. So we'll bring you information if we're given it. The IWF may well decide to continue their inquiries. We don't know whether there'll be a final decision on some of the complaints, shall we say, that have been brought against the Turkish Federation. But here's Sergio Martinez for Spain, 25 years of age, weighed in at 76.09, so he's towards the light end of the scale. Martinez, 5th in Europe this year with a snatch of 152.5 kilos. And currently ranked 12th in the world. But encouraging, I think we saw Casado last night, encouraging to see the Spanish men beginning to come through.
Yes, and this man's got a brother in the 94 kilo class, I believe, as well. So there's a
Santiago,
a couple of them in here, yes. Not a bad start. Bit short on the pull.
Yeah, I was going to say it wasn't textbook, but plenty of strength to make sure that he locked out and did the job, so gets a score on the board. So of course Qatar, a really fast developing independent state on the Persian Gulf, with Saudi Arabia to the south and Bahrain to the west, and petroleum rich, gas rich, but already thinking of the years ahead, 20-25 years from now, when a lot of those assets will be diminished, particularly the petroleum, and already building in a way following the model of Dubai. Lots of apartments and holiday opportunities, because in the winter this part of the world, very nice, very pleasant, a bit too hot in the summer, a bit too humid in the desert, but the winter, I'm sure plenty of you have thought about going across to Florida in the winter. Well, this is another interesting alternative. Here's an interesting man, René Hoch for Germany, 27 years of age, entered a total of 350. That's what he's looking to achieve at the very least. Competed in Athens, but down in 20th place.
Yes, we said earlier, since the likes of Huster and Ronnie Weller, Germany are really struggling with their weightlifters now.
Yeah, basically, you look at young boys and girls, and the appetite isn't there.
It's a different system. It's a different. It's a whole different ball game now, because they've become westernized, and that's the problem.
No lift.
So Frank Mantek, the man who has masterminded over the years so many successes for Germany, struggling really to find the the talent. And it's great to see fantastic athletes, as we saw a little earlier today in the women's category, Pavina Thongsuk. But it's also a worry when the sport tends to get dominated by one or two nations, particularly China, Russia as a powerhouse, Thailand in respect to the women, but I think that's a healthy situation over there. Incidentally, Marcella, thank you very much for sending me an email. You wanted to know about the results of the B group in the women's competition earlier on. Now, we do have them. The only problem is, I thought I'd lost them under a piece of paper, but I've actually found them. You didn't say who you were after particularly, but I can tell you that the top total in the B group was 209 kilos, and that was Yesenia Solis of Colombia who produced that. But if there's anybody in particular you were after, then send me another email and we'll happily read that out. 204 for Natalie Woolfolk of the United States. 201 total for Monica Pichon of Colombia. Also 201 for Olympia Toka of Greece. And Puerto Rico, 202 for Solsiris Francisco. So it was pretty competitive at that level, but when you consider that the world champion totaled up 251 kilos, so 50 kilos ahead in a weight group of 63 kilos. So
256. Eventually, it's 116 along with that 140 clean and jerk. So.
Absolutely, 256, yes. So over 50 kilos better than anybody in the B group. So Yuki Opita now coming on for a 7 kilo increase here.
Yeah, as I said, I'm interested to see this man lift. #1 rank in my old weight class, and a man who will be looking at this as a stepping stone towards hopefully Commonwealth Games glory next year.
Now Nauru's an island off the northeast, well, it's northeast of Australia. Became famous for phosphate, which was a valuable commodity, and it made a lot of people on the island very rich. But then they ran out of it, so they turned their hands to offshore banking and came under a cloud there for allegedly some of the dealings that were going on, and then more recently became a holding camp for refugees, particularly boat people trying to get into Australia.
When you think about the size of the island, though, I mean, weightlifting is now its national sport. I think it's something like 8 by 5 miles.
No, I don't think it's even as big. I think you can walk around it in 20 minutes.
It's got a population of around about 8,000 people, I think. Yet they're producing a lot of weightlifters.
Well, they focused on one thing.
Marcus Stephen, who won, I believe, 3 Commonwealth Games golds and took some medals at the World Championship level, I think was the inspiration to the youngsters of Nauru.
Well, they were at one point going to host the World Championships in 2001, but that never materialized. Would have been interesting, but there were plenty of practical reasons why that didn't happen. Not least of all that it takes 5 hours by plane to get to a nearest a reasonably good medical facility. So God forbid anybody who'd gone to the World Championships, because you're taking hundreds of athletes and officials and everybody else, so whether it's appendicitis or an injury that happens in the championship, you've got to have the right level of medical support at hand to be able to deal with any eventuality, and 5 hours frankly was just too far.
So not practical.
No, practical, no. So if you want my opinion, it was a daft decision in the first place. There's Frank Mantek. Just saw him closest to you on camera.
Well, this man fouled with 148, decided that it was technical, so has increased 2 kilos to 150.
Must be very frustrating for Frank Mantek. Someone who's had so much success with the likes of Ronnie Vella and Mark Hooster. But, he's got people who want to do it, but he hasn't got those extra special athletes that make the difference.
150.
Yeah, as I say, they don't have the. They were relying. I mean, Weller and Huster were throwbacks from East Germany, and they just carried on. But they're not getting those young lifters coming through because of the change. I mean, when it was East Germany, they had lots of lifters because the incentive was big.
What do you have? I mean, what incentive is there here in the United Kingdom?
Well, that's the point I'm making. Now that Germany is essentially the same, westernized in the same way as we are, they don't have any good weightlifters.
So this is Ali Herem for Iraq. He posted a total of 360, so quite interesting to see what he can deliver here. And that's a good start.
I don't remember seeing this man before.
No.
Weighing right on the limit, dead on 77. Yeah, manages that, just relaxed a bit in that low position, but managed to rescue it.
Yeah, I must say, David, I was looking and tracking back through all the records and the books and the databases, and I couldn't pick up anything. So if there is anybody out there that knows something about Ali Hadiem of Iraq, or representing Iraq, then drop us an email to question@weightlifting.de. That would be much appreciated. Some good men in this competition. Li Hongli representing China, also suggesting 360. Viktor Guman for Slovakia. He'll find this hard, but Georgi Markov of Bulgaria, very interested to see him. And bit of an old warhorse, wise head, been there, done it, successful at Olympic and European level and world level. So we haven't seen the best of Bulgarians so far at this championship. So it'll be interesting to see whether he can pull something out for them.
Yes, and of course Abbas, who was originally Bulgarian, but of course was bought by Qatar.
Yes, in that $1 million deal that took, 8 lifters and Abaziev to Qatar.
That's better.
Good lift. And now
much more stable, that second attempt. Third attempt, I should say.
He did well there, because he did 145, then he missed the 150, but decided still to go to 152.5 and got it just right. So all credit to him.
152 is just about on his best mark. In fact, he's done 152.5 at the last Europeans when the old regulations were still valid, but those are all history now. So Viktor Guman. And over 30 seconds, so no time problems at the moment. 153 kilos now on the bar for his opener. This man showed a bit of promise. He's now 29 years of age, but 4 or 5 years ago showed a bit of promise, but hasn't really delivered.
Well, that's probably the best snatching I think we've seen today.
Yeah, it's a good opener.
Very comfortable.
153 kilograms.
Now the interesting
third attempt.
point on him is whether he can keep this going and build on that. René Hoch coming somewhat lethargically onto the stage. Slovakia. Victor Gurman. They don't have too many lifters. They've got Tesovic coming later on in the championship, who used to be a real force, Martin Tesovic, but a man who's been plagued with back injuries, which is hardly strange in this sport, but sometimes you lose an awful lot of years.
Zum Körper lang und die Füße.
Well, that was the best of his three.
Yeah, did well there. Got it all wrong on 148, but then came back with 150, and as you said, best of the three on 153. So that's good.
And that's also David, why I like Frank Mantek, because I do think he's like Yakovu and you know, the very best of the coaches. He has this ability to really play a part in sorting out problems in a very narrow time frame. And that's, for me, a PB for him.
Load the bar to 155 kilograms.
A PB in terms of the competition stage, and the bar going to 155 now.
Bulgaria, first attempt.
No, there's only one Bulgarian in the lineup. That's Georgi Markov. And could be his turn on 155.
Sydney Olympic Games.
And Markov,
Well, he holds the world record, doesn't he, at 69 with a snatch of 165 kilos.
well, that's right. He got an Olympic silver medal in Sydney in 2000 when he was runner-up to Galabin Boevsky. That was at, as you said, at 69 kilos.
But again, it's another Bulgarian that isn't on form, so it's not just it's not just one or two. It's the whole team.
Hold your horses. He hasn't picked the bar up yet.
No, but this is 10 kilos less than what he lifted a whole weight class lower.
Absolutely.
So even if he does the 165 at 77, he's still down.
Let's be fair. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. It is, after all, the opening lift. He may have a different plan to the one in your mind. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I think we should give the man a chance.
155 kilograms.
Yeah, he's been European champion on a couple of occasions. In Trenčín in 2001, in Utraki in 2003, and he's also won the world title. Snatched 170 with a clean and jerk of 200 for a 370 total. Now, I think this man could be someone to keep on the right side of today. Sebastian Dojariu, the European silver medalist this year, snatched 160, 187.5, 347.5 for his total. Romanians, what we've seen of them here, have been well prepared. See the length of levers with his hands right out at the extremities of the bar.
Nice, yeah, solid.
Good lift.
Weighed in at 76. Is it 31 or 51? 51.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. Plenty of time before body weight becomes an issue.
Szramiak, Poland will be the next.
But Sebastian, 28 years of age, so this is his time. This year, next year.